Hello, Longstreet, and welcome back to your artsy studio under the sea. Aloha! Welcome back to your week 8 of creating art at home. This week we are looking at creating forming sculptures out of recyclables, things you have at home. All the art activities I've been coming up with, I've really been thinking about what do you have, what does everybody have at home that they can create with. Let's go ahead and start with our mindfulness. If you need a mindful moment, go ahead and pause the video, do a mindful minute, and join us back. And when you come back, let's start with our 3 W's. Even at home, what do? We take care of each other, we take care of our stuff, and we think like artists. That is correct. Problem solving, not giving up, and using our mistakes. Today, our guest artist for sculpture with recyclables is artist Alexander Calder. He was an American artist, a sculptor, known by the name as Sandy was his nickname. He was born back in 1898 and lived to the year 1976. So he's born over 100 years ago, a century ago. He lived to be 78 years old, so his life has come and gone, so he's a past American artist. He said, "I think best in wire." In fact, he always carried wire and pliers with him so that he could sketch in his favorite material. Some of you love to draw with pencil, you love to paint. So his favorite material was wire, and he drew with wire. It's called drawing in space. He's best known for his mobiles. They're usually, if you have a baby brother or sister, they might have one of these over their crib. Not designed by Alexander Calder, but he was really made famous because of his mobiles. There's one, he was from Pennsylvania, and in the Pennsylvania airport, International Airport, in the main lobby, there's a huge one hanging in the lobby. That's really cool to see if you ever hop by that airport. Make sure you look up to see it. Let's see. He also liked the circus. When you're on Teams, underneath this video, I'll post some of his photos of his studio, of Calder's studio, and some of his artwork, including the circus that inspired him. So take a look in Teams for that. Let's look at our weekend. We can create sculptures from recyclable materials. Today we're going to focus on a technique called Slit and Slot. You will not need tape or glue today. We're going to be doing this technique called Slit and Slot. So let's take a closer look at some examples I created with slits and slots, and then I'll show you how. So using cereal boxes, snack boxes, paper towel rolls, and toilet paper rolls, I have created some sculptures. So you can see trees. Mine's more of like the safari taking over a home. You do not have to create animals or trees or houses, but I'll show you the technique of slits and slots. And you can apply it to whatever main idea you have in your mind or heart. So let's get set up looking down at our supply table. So again, you're going to need maybe an empty cereal box or snacks box, scissors, a pencil for just outlining before you know the marks you really want to keep, and I'm using crayons for my color, but if you have markers or paint, or you can just leave it the color of the cardboard, up to you. Let me bring the giraffe over, just so you get a better idea of slits and slots. And let me move the supplies over that I have organized so you can see better. So they just come right out. So it's just flat from a cereal box, Cheerios, and then we'll make little cuts. And it's a slit and a slot, and it goes together. Those of you that go often to the sculpture studio might remember our anchor chart, and this is one of the sculpture helps to make things stand. And then because of that, it will stand. All right, so let me show you how. Let's see. I'm going to put these aside. I don't need these yet, but I'll show you how to do a tree from those in case you'd like to. So just a piece of my cereal box. I think I want to add a large turtle. I want to do a turtle. So piece of my cereal box. Any cardboard thicker than like a cereal snack box is too hard for scissors and will destroy your scissors and it hurts your hands too. So let me think of the shape. So first, when you're making your recyclable sculptures, think of the shape. So a tortoise, the shell is like a semicircle. So I want to draw lightly first and then go back and make those lines I want to keep. So there's my half a circle, semicircle. See it like a triangular tail, an oval-like head. And then the legs I'm not going to attach. I'm going to cut them out separate, and then we'll cut slits and slots to make them. The basic shape for your legs of whatever creature you're making is going to be kind of like a rainbow. Now my giraffe, let me pull the giraffe back here. I missed the giraffe. You notice giraffes were much longer because giraffes are tall, but turtles are short. So my rainbow is going to be shorter. All right. So there you go. There's my basic shape, my shapes. Now I'm going to cut them out. Because I have 3 parts, I'm going to go ahead and cut the 3 separate so I don't accidentally cut another piece in half trying to cut out. Cutting away from myself. I never want to have the scissors pointed towards me. So I turn my paper to keep those scissors in a safe position. And my fingers out of the way. So there's one set of legs. Now I'm going for the other set of legs. You could even do a freeform sculpture with slits and slots. So you can apply the same basic technique, slit and slots, to create an abstract sculpture. Maybe like a totem pole. Native Americans did. So they would do theirs out of wood. You could do like a Jurassic-like sculptures, using slits and slots to make dinosaurs. So you just, again, think of your basic shapes. Like I thought, a turtle shell is a semicircle. So to start with, you just draw those shapes. You can draw a line, you can draw a shape, and if you can draw a shape, you can draw anything, because pictures are just shapes and lines. All right, so now I'm going to do my slits and slots. Let me get a darker crayon so you can see. I'm thinking, where does my turtle do? Are his feet way in the middle of his body? No. Are they on his head and tail? No. They're towards the front and back of the shell. So I'm going to make one cut here and one cut here for his front and hind legs. And then at the top, where it's going to slide in, I'm going to make a little cut there, and his back legs, a little cut here. So, you can see I made those little cuts. So that's the slit, and now the slot. Or the slot and then the slit. And they slide into each other. Before I slide them in, though, I want to add some color to my turtle. Now, it's going to be a turtle, not a tortoise. This turtle will, I think, part of the time lives in water. Let's see. His shell, I'm going to emphasize the shell with a line along the outside. I'm going to give him some scoots. The scoots are the parts in the turtle shell, almost like your fingernails. If they get injured, they'll fall off and grow another. So let me give him some scoots. Let me give him an eye and a mouth. Give him some color, some green. If you have markers, you can use markers for color, crayons, oil pastels. If you don't have it. So just think about what you have at home. I'm going to add some brown to his shell. Outline it with some green. His legs. Blend some green and brown together. All right, and now let's see how those slits and slots slide together. So here we go. There was my one, there's my slit, there's my slot. I'm going to slide it up. You might have to gently work at it until, like a puzzle piece, until they fit together. There we go. So there's his front legs. Hello. Thank you so much, Miss Fennel. I'd love to have some legs. And now for the back legs, the slit and the slot. I'm going to slide it together like a puzzle. So if it doesn't connect all the way, it'll just slide up and down. So gently, because I don't want to tear it. There we go. There's legs. Sometimes it folds like that, so you just have to work it to make it intersect where it stays. And now he stands. So there's my turtle. Slits and slots. Let me show you how to on a tree. So let me get, for my tree, I used a paper towel roll. I'm going to use part of this paper towel roll for a house, so I'm going to kind of smush it down and cut, and then watch out for your fingers. I just lost part of it. Let me pull it back. All right. If you want a hole for maybe an owl lives in it, just fold it down, and you're going to cut a semicircle, kind of like my turtle shell, but just smaller. When I fold it down, be careful of your fingers, cutting away from yourself, turning that cardboard. Oh, and there maybe I can make a bird to go inside my tree. Now my slit and my slot, so it's going to be on, when I folded it, I'm going to put a cut on this side, and then flip it on this side. And this is going to be where the branch is, where the top of the tree, and this is going to be the bottom where the roots are. So, slit and slit. So you can see the slits open the cardboard up. All right, put it to the side. And now for my cereal box again, I'm going to do my tree. Basic shape of a tree. They're all different actually. So I guess there's not a basic shape. There's tall, slender ones. This one's going to be more of an oval one. And then I can always go back and add details and branches. Because of time, I'm just going to do the basic outline just to show you. So the video is not too long. Alright. So after the video, I'm going to go back and add color and some branches. Find my slits on my tree. Now I'm going to do my slots. So to measure them to see, squish it down to see about how far out they need to be. About here and here. And then same as with the turtle, you just slide it in. And there we have a tree. Those slits didn't quite line up. I think it needs to be slightly smaller. So I'm going to use my mistake and just make my tree maybe have a branch in there. Work it like a puzzle. There we go. And it fits down in there. And then I can always go back on this part of the tree, make this more branches in here. And form it. And voila. And there it stands. So again, needs more details of colors and lines. And then let's take a look at the house. The house, you know what? I'm just going to take it apart instead of making another one. There was my slit and slot. So there's my roof. I just cut, so I squished it down. I drew the details of my windows and my door, and I cut 1, 2. I cut the one side and the top of the door, so then it opens and closes. I formed it back to a circle. On the back side, I did 2 slits, and actually there are no slots. So here's my roof, and the back of the roof I just slid into there. So then it stays on, and there's my house. One more I'm going to show you. It's a car from your toilet paper roll. Isn't that cute? Do race car, it doesn't have to be cute. To get the seat inside it, the opening, you're going to squish your toilet paper roll down. Maybe you have a stretch limo, so you're going to use a paper towel roll. And these are ideas. You do not have to make this with your recyclables. It's up to you. I'm going to cut out a square right in the middle. When I open it up, there's the seat inside. And then if I want a back to my seat, I'm going to extend those cuts Not all the way off, because then there'll be a gaping hole. And then I'm going to fold it, and that can become the seat, like here. Then I can glue on tires, draw doors. So just some ideas. Some of your creatures, like this elephant, not only had slits and slots for the legs, but take a look for the ears too. So thinking about your creature, whatever you create, it might have not just slits and slots for the legs, but also for a feature on its head. Again, it's not limited to animals. You could create all types of things. Well, Longstreet, I hope you enjoy making your Alexander Calder inspired sculptures today out of recyclables. Our technique was slits and slots, pretty basic. No tape is even needed, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. I hope you get a chance to email me or post it on Teams. Even if not, enjoy and have fun. See you on Teams this week.